Welcome to Baxter Yoga. Today I'm going to introduce a series of transitions from downward facing dog into high lunge pose that I hope will make that little transitional moment in your sun salutations or in your dynamic flow practices a little bit easier for you. I find lots of people struggle with this particular transition, going from downward dog and bringing one foot forward into the high lunge position for any number of reasons, which I'm not going to really get into today. I want to present you some options for playing with this transition so it feels better for you. So we're going to call this easy transition number 1, and I'll get into other transitions on future videos. Okay? So the first thing we're going to keep in mind is that for a lot of us, getting that foot forward between the hands is almost impossible because it's just difficult to get that foot all the way up there. In fact, for some of us, getting it halfway up is also impossible. So this is going to be the easiest of transitions that really everybody should be able to do very simply. And it's kind of nice. You just have to be willing to maybe take an extra breath or two to make the transition in that moment of a flow sequence. So we'll start by having a blanket in the middle of our mat because we want some padding for our knees. And then we're going to pretend like we're in the middle of a down dog, or in the middle of a sun salute. I'm just going to come right into downward dog, and then I'm going to show you this little transition. So coming to hands and knees, turning your toes under, and coming up into down dog. So to make that transition, normally I would step my foot forward between this little space between my hands. But instead, I'm just going to inhale my knees lightly down. I'm going to come up onto my fingertips. I'm going to bring my right foot forward. I might have to move my right hand out of the way. And then I'm going to come right up into the high lunge. So I'm ready to step forward if it's a sun salute or do some posture from this position. I'm going to come back for a moment. So that's the right foot coming forward while bringing the knees down first, coming up onto the fingertips, bringing the foot forward, and lifting the back knee up in the air. Let's take a look at it on the second side. So we're going to come into down dog for a moment. Knowing I'm going to make this transition, I often inhale my knees down, come up on my fingertips. I exhale my foot forward, moving my arm out of the way if I need to. And then I inhale right up into the high lunge. So I'm ready to step forward on an exhale if I need to. Bring my knee back down. I can carefully come back from there. So you could, come from forward fold into high lunge and drop your back knee down and reverse that if stepping back is difficult. But we're looking at the one where we're going forward. Let's see it in real time on both sides. So exhaling into down dog. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhale. And I'm ready for action. All right, second side. I'll come back for a moment. Downward dog. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then inhaling, ready for action to step forward. So that little transition from downward dog to high lunge by coming down onto hands and knees for a moment is very accessible. You have to be willing to take an extra moment of time. You might want to come up onto the fingertips and move the arm out of the way so you can easily get the foot up there, and you could use your hand to help you if you need to. Play around with that. Even if the transition's pretty easy for you, it might be nice to know some variations should something arise that makes that transition difficult in the future. If it's already difficult, you've got this one to play with and more coming up in the near future. So again, today, making transitions easier, downward dog to high lunge, option number 1. Follow me online at baxterbell.com. Check out my blog at Yoga for Healthy Aging and look for longer practices on the practice channel at yogauonline.com. Until the next time, enjoy your practice. See you soon. Namaste.